guys, it's Kim. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching my video. I'm going to be doing this look today. This is a kind of smoky Valentine's Day makeup tutorial, but it's not too over the top. I feel like it's just enough like sultry glam, and I used only Wet n Wild products today to get this entire look. I figured, why not do all Wet n Wild? I have so much of their stuff. I love their products. Do you guys see this highlight right now? Like, it is poppin', and it is only like $4 and you can get it at the drugstore, which is amazing. So I am so excited to show you guys how I created this look. If you guys want to find out how I used all Wet n Wild products to create this Valentine's Day makeup look, then just keep on watching. I'm going to show you guys. We're going to start out with the eyes, and I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer. This stuff is so good. It is literally the same thing as Urban Decay Primer Potion. So I'm just going to apply that to my entire eyelid. I have tons of shadows from Wet n Wild, and it's hard to pick like a palette because they're all so good. Hopefully you guys have tried some of these. I think this is exclusive to Walmart. So this is the Wet n Wild Au Naturel palette. Now I don't love this as much as like these little 6-pan ones. I think the quality is not as good as these or like these little 3 trio eyeshadow palettes. So I don't know if I would necessarily say, yeah, go out and get this one, but I would definitely say go out and get the 6 pans or the 3 pans. But I'm just gonna use this because there is a matte transition shade in here, like a brown shade for my crease. So I wanna use that. So I'm gonna try and use some of my Wet n Wild brushes. You guys know I love the crease brush. I use it a ton in my tutorials, and you can actually get this at the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to actually take this shade right here. There's no name or anything, but it's just the matte brown shade in the palette, and I'm gonna just put that into my crease. So just go back and forth. Palette actually reminds me a lot of the Demi Lovato Lovatics palette from New York Color. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but at my Target, all the NYC stuff is like completely gone, and they also aren't on like social media. Like, they're not on Instagram if you try and tag them, so it's very strange. I'm wondering what's going on with NYC. Like, are they completely getting rid of it? I don't know, but I hope not, because I love their liquid eyeliner. I just recently like rediscovered my love for it, and I've been using it literally every day. So I hope that NYC is not leaving us at the drugstore. So I'm gonna go into this trio from Wet n Wild. This is the Walking on Eggshells trio, and I love this pink shade that says it's for the eyelid. So I'm just gonna pick some up on my brush and pack that all onto my eye, and this is going to be our lid color. Now, what do you guys usually do for Valentine's Day? Do you guys like have a place that you go out to dinner like as a tradition, or do you try and switch it up every year? I don't know what we're gonna do this year. We're trying to pick a place that maybe we could like have as a tradition, like go back to every year. But let me know what you guys do. Do you and your like boyfriend or spouse or whatever go to a certain restaurant, or do you switch it up every year? Also bring this into your inner tear duct, because I always like to have a little bit of brightness there. I want to deepen up the outer V, so I'm going to go back to the Au Naturel palette, and I'm going to take this shade right here, that one, and I'm just going to use a brush like this. This is the Morphe M443. It's like the MAC 217. I'm going to just kind of create that outer V shape on my eye and then blend it into my crease. Sometimes I find it's easier to just create the shape myself than working with like tape, because sometimes I feel like the tape looks so harsh, like such a harsh line, although it's easy to do wing liner with it. But I just sometimes like, most of the time, like to create my own shape on the outer corner of the eye. I like to bring this color onto the lid and kind of just go back and forth and blend it with like the side of the brush, because I feel like it just diffuses the color and makes it a nice transition into the lid. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a smaller crease brush. I'm gonna take the Walking on Eggshells palette again, and this brown shade right here, and I'm just going to pop this into my crease to kind of just warm it up a little bit. And I just want to deepen up this look a tiny bit, so I'm gonna go back in with the Au Naturel palette and take this black and just putting that right on that outer corner. just like that. So I don't always love to put just like black straight under my eye and like to smoke it out. I feel like it just isn't always the most flattering on me. So I'm just gonna take this shade we used before, that brownish shade, and I'm just going to pick some up on my brush and use that to smoke out my lower lash line because I think it just looks not as harsh. I'm gonna go back to the Au Naturel palette and use the Brow Bone shade. It's the first color. And I'm just going to pop that onto my brow bone. And it's just gonna blend out the other colors. So since I'm going for more of a smokier, darker eye, I'm going to put some gel liner into my waterline. I just feel like it lasts longer than a pencil and it doesn't smudge or run down my eye. So I'm gonna just use the Wet n Wild gel liner, and this is the old Fergie one, but just buy the regular one they have. I think it's called On the Edge. It's the same exact one. I'm just going to pop this into my waterline. And also, I'm gonna put this up here into my tight line. The only reason I don't love doing this sometimes is because it gets in my contact, and then my contact bothers me for the rest of the day or night. But it does make your eyes just look a lot more complete when this top line is filled in with black, and it also makes your lashes look way fuller. I'm gonna use that same gel liner to line the top of my eye. And if you mess up, like I just did, it's okay because you can use concealer to fix the line. Some days you get a really good wing, and some days it's just a mess. For brows, I'm just going to go back into this Au Naturel palette, and I'm going to dip into this shade right here at the end, and I'm just going to lightly fill in my brows with that. When I was at Target on my last trip, I discovered this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Lash Primer, and I had never seen this before, and it said new. I don't know if this really is new, but I figured I would try it, especially for this video, and I love lash primers. Like, my favorite is the L'Oreal Voluminous one. I use that a ton. For my mascara, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Max Fanatics Cat Eye Mascara. It has a cool little like wand with rubbery bristles, and they kind of fan out. So I'm just going to apply this. And don't forget to coat your bottom lashes. I am going to apply some falsies just to kick up the drama because I do have darker shadows on my eyes. So I know Wet n Wild does make lashes. I don't have any. I did use them in my Dollar Tree store makeup tutorial, and they were actually pretty good. But I'm just going to use these Cara falsies, and these are the Demi Wispies. And I'm just going to apply these. Alright guys, moving on to the face, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Coverall Primer. The opening on this is so big, and I feel like too much comes out. So just like a smaller kind of opening on my primer. So that's really the only thing, but this does feel pretty nice on the skin. It doesn't have too much of that like silicone-y slip to it, which I like. It feels more like a moisturizer and a lotion. I'm going to be using the new Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I am in the color Golden Beige. This is a medium warm shade, and I actually have an entire video on this. I did a review, I did a demo, first impressions, a wear test, so definitely check that out. I will link it down below if you guys want to see my whole thoughts on this foundation. So I actually want to go grab like another shade of this foundation because I want to mix this one. It was a little bit hard to choose like a color. Nothing was like an absolute perfect match, so I'm gonna go back and pick up one more that I can mix this with. On this all out with my Wet n Wild flat top brush. It looks like this. There's also a matching concealer to that foundation, and this is the Photo Focus Concealer, and I have the color light ivory, so I'm just gonna use this to highlight all over my face and underneath my eyes. Some people are saying that they didn't like this concealer. I actually really like this. I don't have any issues with it. It reminds me a lot of Maybelline Fit Me. Maybe just slightly thicker than Fit Me. And I'm just going to blend this out with a little baby blender. So I actually have this contour stick from Wet n Wild. I bought this from their website, and it has like two sides on it. It has a contour side, and then it has a highlighter side. And I'm going to use the contour side to contour my nose. And I like to sometimes start like from the bottom rather than the top. I don't know why. I just like the feel of it better. Put this underneath my cheekbones. Jawline. And then also put this on my forehead. And for my nose, I'm gonna use my little baby blender to just blend this out very carefully. I don't have the easiest nose to contour, so I always just have to try and be a little bit careful when I'm like blending it in. Other little one was just not cutting it anymore. It was way too small. So I'm just blending out the rest of my cream contour. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of highlight underneath and then blend that out. And I'm gonna go over that with a powder contour, and this is the contouring palette, and this is in Dulce de Leche, and this is what it looks like. It actually has like a very soft consistency to it. It feels almost like a cream or like a cream to powder formula. So I'm just gonna take this angled brush from Wet n Wild, this into anywhere that I just contoured. Wild has tons of options for amazing drugstore highlighters. They definitely like win the game on best highlighters at the drugstore at an affordable price. And I love Boozy Brunch. I love the gold bar one that they came out with for the holidays. But I'm gonna be using this one today. This one is also amazing. This is Precious Petals. And at first I thought this was too dark for me, but it actually isn't. Got onto a Morphe R31 brush. This is their new rose gold brush line. And I'm just going to highlight my cheekbones. This color is so pigmented, so beautiful. Like one little swatch in there, they're so creamy. I'm so impressed with these, and I actually got these on Wet n Wild's website, and I think they were about $4 or $5. I will link them down below for you guys. Also gonna put some on my nose, Cupid's bow. So for blush, I feel like I always use my two favorites, which is Apricot in the middle and also Rose Champagne. So I decided to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to go with something pink. And this is Fantastic Plastic Pink from Wet n Wild. This is one of their newer blushes. When they re-released the blushes, they came out with a couple more colors. And this is one of them. It's a really pretty bright pink shade, so I'm going to be popping this onto my cheek. Okay guys, I have lots of options here for lips, and I can't decide which one I want to do. I'm wondering if I should do a nude or if I should do something a little bit more fun because it's for Valentine's Day. Maybe this pink one, or should I do the nude? I can't decide. Maybe I should do both to show you guys. Let's see. Let's do the nude first. This is Bare It All 920C, and I already moisturized my lips, so this nude is so pretty. I think it is a dupe for MAC Kinda Sexy. Step is to spray our face and set everything. So I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting spray, and this stuff is awesome. And I'm just going to spritz my entire face. So that is it. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, leave a comment down below if you're going to try this out for Valentine's Day or any special occasion. Really, this is also good if you're like a bridesmaid as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you can follow me on all my social medias. I will link them down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed yet to my channel, and until next time, I will see you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye!